students, I welcome all of you once again. As you know that in the last lecture we had already started with lesson number 4, disaster management. Let's see once again what is exactly disaster management and what we have learnt in the last lecture. In the last lecture we learnt about many type of the natural disaster, and one of the natural disaster which we have learnt, that is flood. What is basically flood? The flood is nothing but overflow of the river bank. Why this river bank flows? Basically due to the excessive rain in the same place. If the rain falls in the same place in the excessive amount, then there are the chances that a river overflows its bank and it causes the flood. And even this flood causes damage to the environment, it causes damage to the lives of the people also, and it destroys the whole houses and the living area of the people as well. And as flood comes, storm is also invited along with that. Am I right? So what is basically storm? Storm means strong wind. In short, storm is also called as what? Strong wind. And you know that because of the strong wind, basically many people's houses also get destroyed at the rapid speed. Even standing crops also get destroyed at the rate. Okay, so what is basically storm, students? The formation of high and low air pressure belt in the atmosphere that causes the changes in the weather resulting in the strong winds or storm. So one more thing we have learned along with that, that is the forest fire. So you know that sometimes these forest fire are natural and sometimes these forest fire are man-made as well. And I told you the incidence of two things, Amazon forest fire as well as the Australia forest fire, and how much disaster is caused. Many type of the animal, many type of the plant got destroyed because of the forest fire, and this forest fire led to the emission of the carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere, and this causes pollution at the higher speed. Okay, so these are the forest fire, storm and the flood which we have learnt in the last lecture, and they cause serious damage to the environment as well as all type of the living being. And students, always remember one thing in your life: during any type of the disaster, maybe that disaster is man-made or maybe that disaster is the natural, okay, helping and supporting each other is our moral responsibility. Nowadays we see that if somebody is in trouble now, the first thing which people does, clicking the photographs. People clicks the photographs, they forward on the WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. They do the show of that thing. Stop clicking the photograph at that moment, go and help that person. So helping each other and supporting each other is our first moral responsibility, and not just clicking the pictures. Understood? So what we can do to avoid all this damage? So there are certain communities, there are certain managements which we can help us to educate us and to come out of this disaster situation. So to prevent or reduce the damage caused by the natural or man-made disaster, emergency planning and management is required. We need to educate all type of the people about this management plan and this about the emergency plan, and that's why student, in early age only we are teaching you all these things, because we cannot ensure that this disaster can be only faced by the elder people. This disaster might be faced by you and me also. So that time we need to be mentally prepared. We need to know all the steps how we can overcome all these situations. Am I right? So that's why student, community participation. Community participation means what? We people participating in that. How we can face the disaster. Community means what? Group of people. Community means what? Group of people. So the community participation and disaster management team and the knowledge of the disaster management, they are closely related. So we people and the knowledge of the disaster people, we are closely related to each other, and that's why we should know about the how to face this disaster if at all it happens anytime, anywhere. Okay, so what is basically disaster management? Disaster management is not something we don't know. It's very easy. What is disaster management? Disaster management means what? Taking steps to prevent the disaster if we know that already if it is going to happen. Okay, so we can take steps to prevent the disaster, we can make plans to face the disaster, and developing the capacity for that, how we can face the disaster before and after also. So these things are called disaster management. Taking the steps to prevent the disaster, making the plan for disaster management, and developing the capacity in us to face the disaster. This we call it as what? Disaster management. And do you know that, student, in year 2005, the National Disaster Management Authority was established. In which year we established? 2005. Note down this point. Okay. In 2005, in India, the National Disaster Management Authority was established. And what does this authority does? It undertakes planning and implementation of disaster management work. So it takes all type of the planning and it ensures that everybody is following that. Implementation means what? Everybody has to follow the rules and regulation which are given by this disaster management authority. Okay, so who established in year 2005? The National Disaster Management Authority. What it does? The National Disaster Management Authority undertakes the planning and implementation of disaster management work. Got it? And suppose, students, if at all we face any kind of the disaster, and at that moment if you don't understand what I should do at that moment, okay, so we can if we have the cell phone at home, if we have the mobile phone or any kind of the phone, what we can do? We can dial this number which are given in front of you. So suppose if there is any disaster and if you feel that in that case police can save you, so if you want to save if you want to call police urgently, so simply you can dial 100. It is very easy to remember. So if we dial 100, then you will automatically get connected to the police department. Okay, suppose if there is a fire at home or forest fire etc., and at putting water also it is not destroying the fire. So at that time if you feel that the fire is not it is getting out of control, so that time we need to call fire brigade. Am I right? So fire brigade can extinguish the fire. So if we want to call the fire brigade, then what is the emergency contact number of the fire brigade? 101. 101 is the emergency contact number of the fire brigade. Okay, and suppose if somebody is seriously injured, okay, and that time hospital or doctor if it is not near to you, and if you want to save that person, and if you want to call an ambulance, so if you want to call an ambulance, then emergency contact number of ambulance is 102. What is the emergency contact number of ambulance? 102. Is that clear? And most importantly, if you want to contact disaster management cell, earthquake, flood or storm etc., anything has happened, okay, so in that situation you can call the disaster management cell, and the emergency contact number of the disaster management cell is the 108. Understood, students, what I told you? So remember all these 4 emergency contact number. Who are? Police. Emergency contact number of police is 100. Emergency contact number of fire brigade is 101. Emergency contact number of ambulance is 102. And the emergency contact number of disaster management cell is what? 108. Okay. So what are the remedial and preventive measure? Let us see what precautions we can take before or in the event of natural or man-made disaster. So there are basically, students, there are 4 remedies which we can undertake. The first one is a mitigation. Mitigation means what? Prevention. Mitigation means what? Prevention. First of all, we have to make the plan how we can prevent it. Okay, so prevention is the first thing. Second thing is that preparation. Preparation means what? We have to prepare ourselves to face that disaster. Third thing is that response. how we can respond to the situation, how we can use our presence of our mind to face the situation. Okay, and the fourth thing is that recovery. The recovery from that situation, if somebody is injured or anything like that, then how we can recover that situation, or how we can recover that person if that person is injured. Okay, so these are the basically four things which we have to remember in order to face any kind of the disaster. Okay, and most importantly student, if any time disaster happened, then remember one thing: keep watching TV and radio news and bulletins. Bulletin means what? Highlight of the situations. So suppose if it is raining, then we should know about the raining situation. Okay, so all the type of the disaster. Not only this students, right now we are all are facing the pandemic disease of the COVID-19. So even the updates of the COVID-19 we need to know. We need to know that the situation of this pandemic disease, whether it is getting improved or it is getting worse day by day. If we feel that the situation of the outside surrounding, if it is not good, then we should not step out of the home. If we know that the situation is getting better and better, then we can become relaxed and then we can go outside without any kind of the worry. Okay, but before that we should have the knowledge and we should have the updates what is exactly happening in the surrounding. So if we want to know what is exactly happening in the surrounding, then we should always keep on watching televisions for the news or bulletins or radio, etc. Okay, and most importantly during disaster thing, sometime it happens that shortage of the electricity might happen. So in that case we should use battery operated radios and the mobiles, battery operated. So even if sometime if electricity is not there, so at least over mobile phone at least we can get the information and we can get the updates regarding any kind of the disaster thing. Okay, and most importantly student, remember this might be you're not aware about this this website. There is one website which we call it as www.imd.gov.in. So what is here IMD? Here IMD stands for Indian Meteorological Department. IMD stands for what? Indian Meteorological Department. And GOV means what? GOV. GOV means government. So this is the official website of the government. What is the official website of the government? www.imd.gov.in. Okay, so if you want any kind of the warning, any kind of the disaster management, if you want to any kind of the update regarding the cyclone, heavy rain, forest fire, anything, okay, if you want to know any kind of the updates regarding any of the natural disaster, then you can visit this website over mobile phone or by using laptop or computer, then you will get the update. So if you want any kind of the warning, then you can listen the warning from the meteorological department. So I have searched on my mobile to be sure whether this website is working properly or not. So when I searched on my mobile www.imd.government.in, then this is what I found on my mobile. So I have took the screenshot and then I have displayed in front of you. So you can see here the picture. What you can see on the top, we can see the symbol of the government. Okay, so Indian Meteorological Department, Ministry of Earth, it is the government of India. You can see the weather forecasting department over here. Now you can see the rainy season updates are given here, and what kind of the services this department provides us. This you can see the below, see the below headline over there. You can see the rainfall information it gives us, monsoon, cyclone, then any kind of the advisory services, then it gives us the climate services, then city forecast, anything. Okay, so any type of the natural information, natural weather forecasting department, so this will give us. So after this lecture, after watching this video, you can visit this website. Which website you can visit students? www.imd.gov.in. So on your mobile also you can search this website, you will get the same results. Okay, so and most importantly the disaster of the landslides and the disaster of the flood also you must have heard. So suppose at all if we are stuck up in the landslide condition, so what we can do? Landslide occur in the hilly areas basically due to the cloud burst or heavy rain. Am I right? So on such vacations, do not take shelter at the foot of the hill. If there is a landslide, then do not go near to the any type of the hilly region. Otherwise, we might get trapped on the hilly type. Okay. And most importantly, what we can do if we face the flood situation, the floods do not linger in the houses or in the area on the river bank. Move to the safer places at a greater height. So if you feel that the flood is arrived in your area, then what you can do, we can move yourself to the higher area, higher region, means where the water won't be able to reach to you. So that means you will be safe in that place. Do not step into the water current or drive a vehicle into them. So most of the people, if it is raining heavily, if the water is accumulated in your area, most of the people try to drive the vehicle. No, please avoid all these conditions. Okay, if there is a heavy rain, if there is a flood condition, then do not jump into the water. We might get struck up into the drainage water, we might get flowed with the rainy water also. So that's why we have to avoid all these kind of the unnecessary steps. Okay, what else we can do if we face the earthquake situation? So suppose if at all at home, at school or anywhere, if we face the earthquake situation, what we can do? During an earthquake, road splits are open. Okay, the ground cracks, railway tracks get uprooted, and hence when moving from one place to the another place, ensure that the road is further on. Do not go near to such place where the roads are cracked already. So otherwise we will be in trouble. So if we are stuck up at home or we are stuck up at school and the earthquake condition has been arrived, we are feeling the vibrations, then in that situation what we can do, we can cover ourselves under the table if anything is there. Okay, so because of the covering under the table, it might save us from any kind of the vibration or any kind of the damage also. Okay, so these are the simple conditions which we can undertake to be safe. And after disaster, if somebody is in the serious situation, then what we can do, we can take them to the relief center. Most of the time the relief centers are built near to the disaster area, so take a shelter in the relief camp, as well as they provide us medicine, food packets, drinking water and first aid. So there is mostly in the disaster area, immediately government provides the relief camp, and that relief camp is provided with the group of doctor, group of nurses, etc., where they take care of group of people who had already suffered the disaster. So that's why if we suffer from any kind of the disaster, then always try to find out the relief camp. So this relief camp will take care of our health, as well as they will provide us food material and they will provide us first aid if it is required. Understood, students? And what else we can do? Suppose if we are at school or if we are at the hospital or at home also, okay, and if there is a fire burst, then what we can do in that situation? You must have seen that fire extinguishers are kept at school, the fire extinguishers are kept at the mall and hospitals as well. So if at all we see the small fire, then what we can do to protect ourselves from the fire? We can use the fire extinguisher. So fire extinguisher are always kept in the public places so that we can exhaust the fire immediately by using the fire extinguisher. At home, suppose if fire extinguisher is not available, then we can at least throw water on that to exhaust the fire immediately. Understood, student? So these are the simple things which we can undertake to ensure ourselves to be safe in the disaster situation and to protect ourselves from getting into any kind of the trouble. Understood now? So what we learned today, students? We learned that during any type of the disaster, helping and supporting each other is our moral responsibility. And what I told you, if we are facing any kind of the trouble, if we are in any kind of the disaster, then do not just click on the photographs. Instead of clicking the photographs, go and help that person. Understood? And what else we learned? We learned that in year 2005, the National Disaster Management Authority was implemented. Okay, and what it does? It undertakes planning and implementation of disaster management work. And what else we learned today? We learned that there are 4 ways by which we can learn how to respond to the disaster. The first thing, mitigation, means prevention, then preparation, then response, and then recovery. These are the 4 things which we should know when we face any type of the disaster, or even before that also we should know that. Okay. And one more thing, emergency contact number. What are the emergency contact numbers, students? Police. If you want to call police, then what you will dial? 100. If you want to call fire brigade, then what you will dial? 101. If you want to call ambulance, then what you will dial? 102. If you want to call disaster management cell, then you can dial 108. And if we want any kind of the information regarding the forest, city first, rainfall information, monsoon, cyclone, anything, if we want any type of the natural disaster information, then we can visit on our government site, that is www.imd.gov.in. Understood? So we will stop here. We will see you in the next session. Bye. Take care.